Drake Maye shocked the hell out of us, and we got to talk about it after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You got to help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about 4-star quarterback Drake Maye choosing to flip his commitment from Alabama to North Carolina. Now, I said it shocked the hell out of us, some of us. I'm sure that there's somebody out there that's saying, hey, this dude was always a soft lean to North Carolina with his brother Luke Maye having played basketball there, growing up in the Charlotte area. And then Mack Brown comes through. But being a quarterback at Alabama has come to mean something different, with Nick Saban choosing to make the shift from a traditional pro-style quarterback a la Greg McElroy and A.J. McCarron to dudes that can absolutely sling it and run it like Blake Sims and Jalen Hurts. And with this kiddo, Drake Maye, 6'4", 200 pounds, cannon for an arm, 3,500-yard passer, threw 50 touchdowns last year to like just 2 interceptions. Everybody wanted this kid that had offered him, right? Everybody wanted him in the worst way, and he was QB1 for a lot of them. But Mack Brown might have picked up what I think is the second most important commitment of the North Carolina era with him in charge. The first one being Sam Howell. All he did was become a freshman All-American, where he was a better quarterback, production-wise, than Trevor Lawrence. And they are sitting pretty for me to challenge Clemson in the ACC this year, and we'll see how that goes. But we'll also add, nobody played Clemson closer last year than North Carolina prior to LSU skull-dragging them. That speaks a lot of what Mack Brown has been able to do there in just a year. Now, we're going into a year where we expect them to not just be better, but have more pieces in place. I really like Phil Longo as offense coordinator. I like Jay Bateman as defense coordinator. And Mack Brown is doing what he does best, which is recruit. When Mack Brown has had coordinators, he was always golden. When his coordinators were so-so, they were always pretty good. So now you're getting to build a North Carolina program that has not been a traditional football powerhouse with dudes from the South. And I get that some folks were like, yo, we always kind of felt that Drake Maye was going to flip his recruitment or flip his commitment or at least reopen his recruitment. But now we know for sure he was thinking about this all along, and he made frequent trips to North Carolina, even at being an Alabama commit. And there were only 2 quarterbacks in the class that Mack Brown had offered. One of them was Drake Maye. Also means that Alabama has lost 2 top 150 recruits in a week, with Latrell McCutcheon reopening his recruitment following a visit to Oklahoma, and then Drake Maye choosing to flip not 6 days later. This does not mean that Alabama's recruitment is dead in the water. Far from it, right? Alabama fans aren't even upset about this because they know what we all know, which is Nick Saban is still the head coach at the University of Alabama, and they still have Mac Jones versus the field, and the field is pretty damn deep. Talia Tagovailoa and, of course, Bryce Young, who is going to wear number 9 out there on the capstone. So I'm excited to see what he's able to do in the spring, and if he's able to actually usurp Mac Jones. I think for him it could be a Jalen Hurts kind of situation where he comes in after perhaps a guy like Cooper Bateman and just usurps him later on. But Mac Jones has demonstrated that he has the goods to lead Alabama, but is he great enough to lead Alabama? I don't think he is. And Nick Saban will be the first one to let you know that, because as soon as Mac Jones starts to slip like he did against Auburn, you'll see Bryce Young. You'll see Talia Tagovailoa. But with Drake, I'm excited to see what this means for the recruiting at Alabama, because now they well and truly might get into the race for some other great 2021 quarterbacks, because this is a pretty good class for them. Among them, Caden Salter, I think, who took a trip to Arkansas not too long ago, and he could be following Malik Hornsby in that class, who follows what I think is going to be a really great Felipe Franks for Arkansas. I get that there are times when people are like, this dude does not even belong in this conference, and the other times it's like, oh yeah, there's the top 100 quarterback that we all saw. Now with Alabama, you might see them not only get into the mix with other quarterbacks, particularly 2 from noted rivals. And by rivals, I mean like in recruiting, right? They can make a run at Brock Vandagriff, who is committed to Georgia, but he's also an in-state product, and that's going to be a difficult thing to do, especially after you already basically flipped from Oklahoma to Georgia, when he reopened his recruitment, and then like a month later just decided to commit to Georgia. which has always felt like a lean for him coming out of Prince Avenue Christian in that area over at Bogart. And then the other one is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is on campus right now as we speak at Oklahoma, and he is QB1 for Lincoln Riley, with Vandegrift choosing to, let's say, take his talents to Georgia. What I love about this is that Saban has demonstrated that he can come in and steal your girl, all right? Oklahoma had Jace McClellan in the bag for 2 years. And then at witching hour, early signing period approaches, get the in-home visit from Nick Saban. He's a tighter. It's like that. Now, for Riley, what a flex it's been for him to go from one highly rated quarterback, a 5-star quarterback, to a more highly rated 5-star quarterback and pull out all the stops. Matter of fact, he wrote in a blog post earlier this week for Sports Illustrated that he wanted to see if Oklahoma was the place that he could call home. And we've seen OU football's account tweet out a video and a post that said, "This is home." Using Creed Humphrey in the video, showing parts of Washington, D.C., showing parts of Norman, pulling out all the stops with everything that they have to try to convince this kiddo that this is the place where he needs to be. I don't expect him to make a decision while he's on campus. I certainly don't expect him to make a decision before heading into the summer. Coming out of the summer, going into his senior season at Gonzaga College, the 6'2", 209-pound product may just decide to put it away and decide, yes, I'm going all in with Oklahoma, and then the Sooners can really start to build out this 21 class. But if Nick Saban and Steve Sarkisian decide to key in on him, then we're going to get to really see what Lincoln Riley can put together, because another guy that he wanted, he lost to Alabama. Bryce Young was down to USC and Oklahoma. He ended up picking USC in the summer of 2018. Summer of 2019. 2018. I'm mixing up my years here. Picked him up, ended up going to all the way through that season. Yeah, because he went through the season at USC. When they go 5-7, they look a shambles. They're fired. The offense coordinator, T. Martin, is out. They bring in Cliff Kingsbury for a month. He goes to Arizona. They end up bringing Graham Harrell. He stays through all of that. And then later decides, I can't stick it out here. Steve Sarkisian and Alabama are calling me up. I'm going to go from L.A. to Tuscaloosa. And by way of USC, Lincoln Riley loses out on a prized recruit. In large part, you could say because of Spencer Rattler. Because if Rattler is not at Oklahoma, I would give even money that Bryce Young is at Oklahoma. Just didn't want to compete with that kid being right in front of him. But that apparently might factor in for a guy like Drake Maye at Alabama. Because if you expect Bryce Young to be the starter at least at some point this year in 2020, that means 3 straight years that you're sitting back. And you could just stay at home. And you can go to a place that you know, where your brother went to school and where Mack Brown has been relentlessly chasing you. So the musical chairs at quarterback is really starting to pick up. And I'm getting very excited just thinking at the prospect of what this could be if Nick Saban decides to try and go recruit the top uncommitted quarterback in this 2021 class. That would be Caleb Williams. So we'll watch this one closely. But Drake Maye is moving and shifting the 2021 class, and I can't wait to see what happens next.